Smack.
Welcome back to Super Smack, the podcast from the fans, for the fans. We're back, baby. It is round three. End of round three.
It's been good.
3 rounds deep.
More. The rugby just keeps
It is good.
coming.
It is good. The quality of these games this week was phenomenal.
It was pretty good. I mean, it's tight, and that is the most exciting part of the game. I mean, it starts with a hiss and a roar, and it's great, but then it doesn't really get decided till what?
The last 5 minutes in most of them, last minute.
And how good is that in a game?
It's
of anything?
unreal. Everyone's in the competition right till the end. We've had no big blowouts, really. Everyone's been really close to winning these games.
They
and
have been.
High scoring again, more and more tries. Like tries being scored in the first minute, 5 minutes.
Yep.
You know,
And some teams just keep getting pipped, but it shows that you have to finish. You have to know how to finish. And those top teams,
the top
they
teams.
know how to finish.
There has been some big wins this week. Some really big wins and some big losses.
Some big,
hurtful losses.
Yeah, some tears even.
Highlanders up again. Highlanders up again.
Phenomenal. They are playing Moana Pacifica, so
well, man, come on, let's not talk them down. Moana Pacifica are a great team.
They're not a great team. They're a good team. They're working towards something.
Yes,
but
not quite finishing the games though, are they?
No, they're not. But the Highlanders, they almost lost it there. So it was maybe two equally balanced teams going at each other.
Hey, mate, there's just something I want to talk about first.
Okay. News.
Breaking news this week. Clayton McMillan. He's off. He's vetoing the last
gone.
year of his Chiefs contract, and he's off.
He's gone. I like how we're just getting the news out of the way.
Mate, yeah, we've got to get the news out of the way.
It's bugging
me.
Do you think is he making a play?
I think he might be making a play for the international.
He is,
eh? Well, he's doing a long play because Andy Farrell's still at the top of his game, right?
So he's off to the Emerald Isle end of the season.
Yeah. And I know what I think it means for the Chiefs.
I'll tell you what it is.
He's been there for a few years now, 5 years, and he's done some great things. He's made a couple of finals. He's done a rebuild of this team, and he's drawn a line in the sand. And he's gone, boys, this is our year. 2025, we're going all the way to the top. And then he's going to mic drop, and he's going to boost.
That's what it takes. He has to leave for you guys to win the competition.
Maybe. I hope it works.
Do you know what, mate? I've got another theory.
What?
I think the rot's setting in.
Come on, man.
I think there's trouble. I think there's trouble in Hamilton behind
there's
closed doors.
There's only one place where the rot's setting in.
And I hope it's not that bloody stripper escapade again. But there's something going on, and he needs to get the hell out of Dodge.
There's no rot in Kirikiri mate.
It doesn't look like there's rot on the field.
The rot's down in Pornicky. There's some rot down there, mate.
Hey, mate. Hey, before we get on to...
is looking a bit smelly down there,
Before we get on to you ripping out my beautiful Hurricanes, I've got a suggestion. I've got a pitch.
What is it?
I think you should take the job, mate.
What?
I reckon you should. I think you should coach the Chiefs in 2026. Just hear me out.
Oh,
I just think
this is the field.
I just think you've got such an amazing rugby mind.
Thank
you. You've
you.
got such an intelligent, analytical view of the game.
Sure.
And
as a fan.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, mate.
Qualifications.
And with your charisma and your leadership qualities, I reckon you could coach the Chiefs to another Super Rugby title.
You sound like you're giving me talent, uniqueness, and charisma. Like, I'm not on RuPaul's Drag Race, mate.
Well, you could be. I'm just saying you're probably better served as the 2026 coach of the Chiefs.
Wow. That's something to think
about.
Mate,
I would follow you into battle.
Would you?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Mate,
but someone's going to.
To be honest, I don't think I want to do that job. It seems really stressful.
Yeah, you don't like stress. I reckon out of all the friends I know, you're the guy that likes to just lie on a blanket in the middle of the park.
I respect my mental health, and I think
a nice
that job will be extremely damaging for my mental health.
Yeah, you've got to protect yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it would be. I mean,
I could take it.
Sometimes you get paid enough, though, mate. What if they gave you like $300-400K a year? Is that how much they get paid, you reckon?
I'd do it for $3 million.
$3 million?
I'd do it for $3 million.
You could coach the Kansas City Chiefs for $3 million.
What? No, he'd be on 30.
Oh, you reckon? Actually,
yeah,
would
USD.
Be, Well, he's putting it all into his
belly. Speaking of money right now,
yeah.
Did you know? You know the fantasy rugby league? I heard a little rumor That cost $10 million to set up.
What?
I know, crazy, and it's good. Like, granted, it's got me like
Hang
into
on,
it. Like,
$10 million
$10 million
to set up the website.
Yeah, because it's not even an app. We don't even have an app.
How can that have cost $10 million?
Well, I guess it's just everything that goes into setting it up. Maybe paying the players to be on there.
Surely don't fantasy. Is that part of a licensing thing? Because is fantasy like a licensable?
Mate, don't ask me questions I don't know the answer
I don't know. It just seems like that is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. Man, we could spend $10 million on getting people to the games.
So you're telling me they spend $10 million and the prize is $10,000?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's crazy.
You cheapskates.
Hey, and just while we're on the topic, big shout out to Bulldog, who is
what's his name in real life?
Dan Shelford.
Dane Shelford.
Mate, he is 6th overall at the moment.
Well, he knows his rugby, man. Or either that.
I've got a sneaking suspicion he's played his boosters.
Yeah. He's played his boosters, mate. He's played them early. He's gone hard because he wants to look amazing, and he'll think that we'll all bail out and go, may as well not even bother anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not really good at fantasy.
This sucks. Yeah.
This is just boring. It's just getting boring. He is at the top, and so you're saying he's what in the country?
6th.
6th out of
the whole competition.
Like 30,000 people.
Yeah, shout out, Bulldog. Well done, mate. And we talked about it earlier. Like, you're a very analytical man. You've probably spent way too much time on this for 50, maybe 15 grand. Maybe he's just an investment in terms of.
What's Bulldog doing that he's got so much spare time? You think?
Who knows?
Drug dealer.
Well, no, I used to sell medical equipment back to hospitals.
Drug dealer. I mean, if you've got enough time to get that analytical on fantasy Super Rugby, you're up to something. Bulldog, come clean.
Come on, come
clean, mate.
Well, we had the cultural round, round 3, which was pretty cool. We saw some cool jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a great one from the Chiefs.
The Chiefs one was beautiful.
All the regions.
I actually really loved the Brumbies one that they played against you too.
Yeah,
that was cool. The all white with the Aboriginal patterns on it.
Very cool.
That was very awesome.
Cool. Who else had a good jersey?
Not the Hurricanes, I'll tell you that.
No.
Do you know what? Mate, they just had their normal jersey for starters, nothing cultural.
Wow.
And we've talked about the jersey before, so we won't go on again, but it is so bad.
It was very yellow. Now that you brought it up, Moana Pacifica had a very cool jersey.
That was cool.
They had that heritage throwback to the Pacific team. That was really cool.
I don't think the Blues had that was just normal too.
I don't know. Yeah, it looked pretty normal to me.
And the Highlanders was normal as well. So what's with that? Is it just certain teams chose to? Yeah.
And some teams did haka before the game. Some teams didn't. Yep. But it was pretty cool, and it seemed to have a massive turnout. You know, there was a few more people in the crowds in the stadium.
Yeah, I think it was good, although kind of a disappointing turnout in Waikato in Hamilton.
Oh yeah,
like it wasn't.
Well, they tried. They turned it on,
mate. And you were saying earlier, 4:30 p.m. Afternoon
rugby is so good. I love it.
You can bring the kids. Why are they not there?
A couple of afternoon beers in the sun, especially this time of year. Fran Cora from Cora opened up proceedings at Waikato Stadium, FMG, and it was really cool.
The Auckland Blues and Eden Park need to take a leaf out of their book and put on some entertainment. Hey, while we're just talking about the jerseys,
hang on, wait.
News.
Marvel, what the hell is going on?
What in the fuck is that?
It's ridiculous.
I am sorry, but it is just ludicrous.
Who asked for this?
Certainly not me.
Marvel fans are asking for representation in the Super Rugby competition.
We're missing a trick, guys. We got to put it on those Super Rugby players.
Even like Brad Shields looks so embarrassed to wear that jersey.
Or Paddy Tupelo is kind of just like, hey.
Yeah, Arcoy's kind of owning it. He's like flexing.
He kind of loves it,
but that one's cool.
But once again, you guys have got kind of the best shirt.
Yeah.
What's great about it is the subtlety of just sort of like a thing around the neck, maybe a subtle pattern. Mate, the jerseys are actually matching kind of how the teams are performing, and the
Hurricanes one that has painted on abs,
they've painted the belt. There's a belt that's drawn on.
Sucks if you've got a couple of lovies. You just got a flexing belt.
It's like you and me during the 2015 World Cup.
Yeah,
London,
those jerseys were atrocious.
If anyone knows those jerseys, those All Blacks jerseys from 2015 had that suction in thing.
Yeah, they really tapered off
when you had a few too many pints, like Ra and I.
All we were doing was drinking beers at Twickenham.
We looked lovey, mate.
Lovey, yeah, we looked loved up. And I don't mean in the
one
nice,
thing we weren't getting
way.
is loved up with those handles.
No.
The Hurricanes one, the colours don't even match the franchise for one.
I think it's ridiculous. Are we doing a Marvel round? Like, what is it? Just like a collector's item that people can go out and buy a Marvel jersey?
I hope not.
Imagine if they did a Marvel round.
I hope not. I
They
hope.
better not.
Do you know what? I guess that what it looks like is it looks like a badly fitted suit at a 5th-year-old's birthday party. They don't look right, mate.
Little chubby Spider-Man.
Apparently they were to match the team, that the particular superhero was matching the ethos of the particular team.
Ridiculous.
So I'm like, how has Captain America got anything to do with the Wellington Hurricanes?
I don't know, mate. I have no idea.
Because he's
a bit shit. He's had a shitty third round.
Even I almost said it.
He's had a shitty start to the season, the Hurricanes. I'm sorry, mate, but not so sorry, because you did call the Blues shit last week.
No, I called them mud.
No,
and I stand by that.
You did call them mud. You called them mud, and then at the end, I'll get
mud
you the
is
time
not
code,
as stinky
mate.
as
I'll
shit.
get you the time code. You called them shit right at the end.
Did I?
Yeah, and you you might have apologized because they really wiped you,
mate. They did not wipe us. They beat us by 3 points or 4 points.
Yeah, win's a win though, isn't it?
No, they only, mate.
You got to win those tight ones. You know that from last year's semi-final. You got to win those ones to get through to the end.
Mate, that game was kind of ridiculous at the end too.
Yeah, from the Hurricanes, the Blues were loving it.
No, they weren't loving it.
They were loving it.
No one was loving it. Bowden Barrett wasn't loving playing halfback. He fucked it up basically twice, put into the scrum.
I mean, it was great when he got into 10, though, wasn't it?
Oh,
it was lovely to see.
As
soon as it happened, the Blues just really lit up.
So what's that saying? Plummer again, just not firing.
Well, we were talking about this earlier. I'm loving this sort of dual playmaker thing. I know that the All Blacks brought this into fruition a couple years ago with the Moanga Bodie sort of situation, not knowing who to play at 10. We've got in the Chiefs, we've got Jacob and DMac.
It's working very well.
And then in the Blues, we've also got Plummer and Barrett. And switching those roles throughout the game, you get to a certain point, and then that 15 role switches into that, and they both can play so well.
And it seems like it's to do with the particular players too. I wonder if the Moanga Barrett thing never maybe worked as well as it could. But DMac, man, DMac's looking like, for me, he can still come off the bench for the All Blacks and make a real, or maybe starts at 15. But then where do you put Jordan?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, DMac, speaking of, is in all of our prayers right now.
Yeah. Poor DMac. Well, should we put on some of that jazz? Is that appropriate for that?
He took some friendly fire.
DMac, we love you, man.
Anton Leonard-Brown did something that most opposition defences can't do. Sent DMac off with an injury.
It's terrible.
The boy bounces back from anything.
He was clutching, wincing on the sideline.
Limping. He went straight to the ice.
We'd love to see you back, mate.
Hopefully that MRI is all good and clear, mate. Just the strain.
And I hope you got a good rub down after the game.
Love you, DMac. just before the drums come in.
Just cut it off. And here. Oh, good night, everybody. Mate,
Moana had their first home game this week.
They
which
did.
Was pretty cool.
Their home base of Albany on the North Shore.
Weird, isn't it?
It's, mate, if you want a place that has absolutely no character in Auckland, go to Albany.
Yeah, I mean, is there any sort of Pacific presence in Albany? It seems like a pretty white suburb.
I would say there's there's not as big a Pacific presence as maybe being down in Mount Smart in that area.
Yeah.
But also on top of that, it just doesn't strike me as a very interesting area to have a rugby stadium.
No, there's a transport hub, which I guess is good.
Yeah, go get stabbed at that.
Yeah. But also, I know that North Harbour Stadium had a bit of structural issues or something recently. Have they fixed that up?
Well, let's hope so if they're hosting games.
Well, yeah, I mean, are all the stands open? We need some reports from people that went to the game in the weekend.
I think
apparently they've got some very loose vaping rules at the stadium. We had an inside light on that. That's just free vaping there, which is
great. So hey, maybe if people aren't really getting along for the rugby, you can go and have a good vape for an hour and a half,
old vape,
and no one will tell you
public.
off.
Yeah, no one's going to tell you off in there. You can have a burger,
you can have a
punnet of chips,
and a good suck on a peach ice. For an hour and a half and just chat with your mates for $25. It's a good
really
deal.
hoof on the vapes.
Yeah, but look, North Harbour Stadium has never struck me as having much of a vibe or a fever.
Well, I mean, it's home of North Harbour Rugby. They had a couple of test matches there, but it's not really.
And I suppose AFC and the Warriors have now got Mount Smart or Go Media, whatever they call it.
3 teams at one stadium.
No, and I guess the Moana are going to be the ones that lose out in that respect. I want to give a shout out to big Captain Artie as well.
He had
Because,
a blinder.
Mate, he had a blinder, and we were waiting for this moment. Where
He's a
like,
passionate player, right?
He's a passionate player, but it's also, like you said earlier, he plays best when he's like, he has to prove something. And I think he was a bit quiet for the first 2 rounds, and now he's actually gone, I'm going to have to come out and just take the bull by the horns. And actually, he basically was playing as 15
I think being in that jersey, that tri-stripe jersey, I think that was amazing. And also for him being in his first home game for this new team, he just had a real point to prove. And boy, he did.
And he was probably like, we need to win a game. So
Scored
I've got
a cracking try too.
He's like, I got to do something. The only thing is, after the game, he basically apologized and said that he was so disappointed with the start. And my thing is, mate, they were never going to be winning many games, Moana. Like,
you don't think?
Mate,
They've got a great
They were last in
attacking
2023. They were second to last year. I just feel that it's awesome for the game and for them that he's there. But
Gareth again kicking a team while they're down.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, right.
He didn't need to apologise. We all understand the assignment.
Yeah. They're building.
They're building.
Much like the Hurricanes this year.
Much like the South Stand at North Harbour
Yeah,
Stadium.
they're rebuilding it. It's got asbestos, but don't breathe in. When you're breathing in your vape, make sure you do it with your nostrils closed.
That's why they let them vape, to cover the asbestos.
Oh, yeah,
They're basically like, you can't tell the difference.
Sense. Yeah, he did go beast mode. We had poor old Cam Miller.
Yeah, he got
knocked the fuck out. Man, I felt so sorry for him. And it was like a good 20-minute stoppage of play. Wasn't
Yeah.
Like, how knocked out can you get?
He was gone.
He went right back
So
to another product of gore.
What's going on?
I know, something in the trout.
Now, speaking of that, we did say last week, we surmised last week that Finn Hurley was from Gore.
Yep.
Mate, we put the clip up online, and everybody's going, nobody knows where the fuck he's from. Some people are going, he's from Gore. Then some people are claiming he's from Edendale. Then
Where's
some are saying
Edendale?
he's like 2 towns south of Gore.
It's the same
So I
fucking
think
place, isn't it?
that's what I said to someone, and they said it's like calling Hamilton a suburb of Auckland. I said I thought it was just a suburb of Auckland. The rest of New Zealand's kind of suburbs of Auckland. But Edendale, I think he must have gone to high school in Gore.
He's from
and
Gore.
he's probably born in Edendale. Or
It
something.
makes better chat if he knows how to bone a lovely trout from Gore.
D-bone, mate.
Sorry, D-bone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not
There's a
boning
big
it.
difference. There's a big difference, mate.
What?
Although,
could
you never know what they get up to down in the deep south. It's a bit strange.
Depends on the size of the trout, right?
I'd say that even if the trout was big enough to do that, you'd maybe stay away.
Okay. So
Even a cat or a
Fair
dog.
enough. Well, poor old Cam Miller. Hopefully he
Yeah.
recovers quickly. That was a big hit. But the Highlanders, congratulations,
Once
Highlanders!
again.
Another win.
And they
in
played
the
well.
W's.
They played well. But they nearly fucked it.
Without Fakatava and a late withdrawal from Finn Hurley, which I know screwed up your fantasy team there, Gareth, because
Well,
you
it
weren't
did.
watching the game. Gareth was at a stag do this weekend, so
I
he didn't
was.
really catch many of the games live.
That's not true. I just didn't manage to pick up on that late injury.
Yeah.
And Hurley.
But hey, to still, losing a couple of really key players for them in the last couple of weeks, they still managed to get through, which is good.
I'll tell you what, Artie definitely feels like the 7 for the All Blacks for me too. I like that he's playing back there. It's
Yeah,
good.
he does suit it.
His work rate is so high that it can't really be anybody else.
Moving on to the Waratahs Drua.
Oh yeah, okay, good.
So don't get too upset, man.
No,
It's
I'm just
okay.
trying
It's
to
coming.
avoid. No, I don't really need you to say anything. I'd rather you didn't. In fact,
Drua-
I might just.
The Drua have some very exciting attacking players.
They do, and so do the Waratahs.
Yeah.
And again, another close game. Could have gone either way. It was fiery, man.
Yeah.
There was a bit of biff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially from the Waratahs.
Yep,
I didn't expect it from them. They really know how to get under people's skin, eh?
Yeah, and I've got this thing. I don't know why I have this feeling, but I always have this feeling that the Drua, the Fijians, are just such lovely people
They
that
are.
when people try and pick a fight with them, I kind of find myself looking at the TV going, "Oh mate,
Come on, mate, leave him
chill
alone."
out. Just he
Yeah.
didn't do anything." Whereas actually, some of them are probably a bunch of little fuckers.
But it's a classic Aussie sportsman.
Oh
thing,
yeah,
right?
you just love to hate the cheeky Aussie guy.
Yeah. Well, they're just a little bit nasty.
Yeah.
They don't do it with a little bit of tongue in cheek. They're not like prodding a little bit of fun and
there was
poking
some
you and
full.
laughing
There
with
was
you.
some full.
They
pun-
go.
full
I reckon.
pushes.
Yeah, they're making mum jokes. They're making your mum as fat jokes.
Yeah. Because the Aussie cricketers were always the best sledges, weren't they?
Good sledges, yeah. From this game, what I thought was awesome, the tap and go is back.
Oh, yeah.
It's made a resurgence. Not from a free kick, because I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, okay.
This is from a penalty.
This is from a penalty.
So usually in the professional era, the only team that could really get away with the classic tap and go moves, they do these some elaborate moves, was the Barbarians.
Yeah.
They used to do these elaborate, like they'll get the whole team in a line and do these like crazy,
almost like river dance.
But the Drua, Moana Pacifica, and the Blues all scored tries from a 5 meter out tap and go.
And you know what?
Awesome.
Well, you know why? It's just because you're catching the other team off guard.
Mate, it takes me
works.
back. That's
it
all
works.
we used to do when I was growing up. That's the only thing we did when we got a penalty.
Do you reckon it used to get ruled out as maybe a bit of a shitty tactic that we all agreed that you didn't really do it in professional rugby, and now they're just like, fuck it, we're tapping.
The biggest guy on our team,
Richard Fuller.
No, his name wasn't Richard Fuller.
He was the biggest guy on our team.
Jamie Fitzgerald, I think his name was. He was huge. I think he was held back a couple of years.
Jamie Fitzgerald.
And so we used to get him running up, and you get him at halfway, and we were on the 22, and you just get him sprinting. Someone would tap it, pop it up to him, and he'd get through about 15 players all the way to the line.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked every time.
Oh, yeah. They should do it more.
I think,
good.
Well, I think it's back. I think the tap and go is back, which is nice. The pace of the game has brought back one of the laziest things to do on penalty.
But if you're close enough to the line, go for it. And just go back to high school.
The Hoskins to Tutu one was unreal.
Yeah.
That was a planned
That was
move.
good. Yeah,
they went one way,
it worked,
bluffed to the blind side, and then came back and got him on an angle.
He had a good game. We'll talk about him in a second.
Well, he also got sent off.
Yeah, but that's everyone. Mate, everyone got sent off.
Suaalii was...
Where was he?
Well, I was doing some reading, because when I saw him not playing, I didn't realise that he wasn't in the team. He had a bit of a sore toe.
What do you mean? What, just one?
I think so. Imagine telling Buck Shelford that, hey, mate, I'm not playing this week because I've got a sore toe.
He played with half a nut.
I know. I've got a theory.
What's his theory?
He's been on the kinner.
He's got
gout. He's been having too much rich seafood, maybe a couple of IPAs.
Yeah, he's had a massive jug of 6% IPA.
Yeah,
and a bucket.
He's had half a dozen kinner. He's had a few scollies. He's had a raw power, just like a steak.
Mate, if no one in their right mind would eat kinner.
What do you mean?
It's disgusting.
It's a delicacy.
It's awful.
I don't love it myself.
There's something about the
smell. A lot
smell.
of people do.
I can't do it.
What do you like? Do you like oysters?
I love an oyster. I love a mussel. I love a mussel. Chewy.
I bet you do.
Yeah, chewy, mate. I love it. But
you love those ones in the brine, don't you? From the supermarket,
yeah,
the flavored ones, the chili ones.
Do you know the best ones are those Coromandel Gold chili and garlic mussels? They are good. Sponsor us.
Not kinner for you, mate.
Mate, absolutely not. There's nothing about kinner that is even pleasing aesthetically, flavour, smell.
Apparently, you feed them oats and they go a bit creamy overnight.
It's disgusting.
You chuck some oats in the.
Mate, they've got spikes on them.
Yeah,
they're telling us to fuck off and not eat us. It's a sign. It's like the frogs with the
fish.
It's like the frogs with the spots. You don't touch them, all right? They're just not meant to be eaten.
Yeah. Anyway, Suaalii, sore toe.
Sort yourself.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope he gets over his gout for next week. Who are they playing next week? Do you know?
Actually,
we need to look at that.
Don't know who they're playing.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
Glenn Jackson. There was this
lovely blue eyes.
Yes, I saw this funny thing. One of the Stan Sport reporters after the game said that he needed a hug. He was like, I think I need to give you a hug.
They've been so close. Is that what you mean?
Because they almost got it. And it was sort of almost patronising, but I reckon she wanted a piece of Glenn. And she was just looking into those baby blue eyes.
I'd give him a hug.
You would give him more than a hug, I reckon, the way
What are you talking about?
Well, the way you were banging on about him last week.
He is a lovely looking man. Yeah. And he's a lovely soul.
And he's just got those blue
piercing
paddling
eyes,
pool eyes.
2 little sapphires in the dark of night.
They weren't playing in the dark.
No, that's true.
The ground was well lit.
Yeah. But he's a lovely man. I feel sorry for him too.
You're in love with Glenn Jackson.
I'm with it. I'm with that Stan reporter. Yeah. I think he needed a little bit of a hug, and I think they're going to get there. I think they've got so much promise. They just need that last little 2%, to get them over the line and to actually get that dub. Because 29-24, they're a try away.
Yeah.
Most of these games are so bloody close.
Most of them are close. Some of them more painful than others.
Yeah. But not the Chiefs. Not the Chiefs Brumbies.
No, mate, not the Chiefs.
It got a little bit They got a little bit nervy towards the end there.
Well, the Brumbies really,
they were there the whole time.
they hung in there, man. But that was an exciting game. It was really good to watch. Obviously, the Chiefs still exerting their dominance.
Yeah, but on
DMac
both
had a
sides of the game too. There's some sublime attack. That chip and chase from Tupaia was unreal.
Yeah, I mean,
Couple
that
from
centres combo.
Rampling, couple from
Where did Gideon Rampling?
Yeah.
Now
just,
look,
just in.
like I just love that. It's like a fantasy storybook character. Gideon Rampling. Gideon Rampling lived at Daltrey Lane. Gideon Rampling would go out for coffee.
Well, I mean, the fact that we're resting players at the moment at this stage of the tournament and bringing in players like Rampling, is so good.
Well, it's really rampling things up.
It really is, mate. But yeah, got a little too close for comfort towards the end there.
Yeah,
I got a little bit nervous.
You got a bit nervous. I bet you were pacing. Although you're so lazy, you probably still sat on the couch.
Come on, mate. Injuries. The injuries though. That last little injury.
The injuries
DMac.
took it. Yeah.
Oh,
Do we have any news? We don't really have any news on that.
no, we don't.
No.
We'll just have to wait for those MRI. Hopefully, it's not swollen and he can get in his MRI today and he can sort it out.
Poor dude.
Quincy Tupaia came off in the second half as well. Hopefully, he's okay.
Yeah.
Josh Lord came off in the first 5 minutes, which really screwed with my bloody.
Good Lord.
Yeah. My fantasy.
Yeah.
But
Well, you should. I had
hopefully he's
Tupovai,
okay.
so.
Oh yeah, he played good.
Yeah. I like him better than Josh Lord. No offense to you, Josh, but
No. They're both great
Big
players.
Toots
Yeah.
has got it.
I had a little prediction that Josh Lord was going to make some moves this week, but obviously not.
What was you're just in your own head or based on some
No, just in
actual
my own
knowledge?
head. No actual knowledge. This is the thing. As soon as I started playing the fantasy rather than actually just, going for blind luck.
Yeah.
I
started thinking about it.
Started thinking about it and I've screwed it up.
How many? Oh, I don't even want to know. How
I
many
think I'm
points you're
just
on.
above you now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've made up some ground.
I have. I had some goodies.
But yeah, top of the table, the Chiefs, which is where they belong. Hopefully, they will stay there for a long time. And in good news,
always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
We had a bit of bad news this week, but in good news, we should be getting back Scooter Stevenson from his weird 3-week sabbatical. We couldn't quite muster the full year like the likes of the Barretts.
That was a weird thing. What was he? Was he basically just on holiday in Japan and played a few games while he was there?
I don't
That's
know.
kind of what that is.
Well, it's kind of like he was like, "Can I please go, Mum?" And that Mum was like, "Well, I'm not sure. What can you get their parents to give me a call?"
Yeah.
And he's got
You
Japan
reckon-
to
are you
call
saying
up,
that-
and in the NZRU's gone. Look, he can go for 3 weeks, but he has to come back early.
And we're billeting him.
Yeah, and we're billeting him out.
Do you reckon Sean Stevenson still lives at home?
No, I'm calling the NZRU as Mum.
Oh.
It's true.
Me taking the metaphor too seriously? Hang on. Are you saying that
He might do.
Sean Stevenson lives at home?
That'd be quite nice. Maybe he does live at home.
Mate, I would love to be. And Mum, he comes home after a game. Mum's cooked him some pasta.
Yeah. Could
He
you live
sits
with your
down.
mum?
He what? Absolutely not.
Mate, you'd put on so much weight. That's
Mum's
nice.
baking.
Yeah,
She
knows
just
how to bake.
yeah. Look, I love my mum, but
love
she'd
her too.
cook. She's a lovely woman. She'd cook too much. Yeah, too many cookies. Bake too many cookies.
Mum's the same. She has a lot of Austrian food, so and Dad's a great cook too. So yeah, I'd just be getting fed 24/7.
Yeah,
I'd balloon up.
you wouldn't fit any shirt by that point.
It might
your
be
love
a good
handles would be out
candidate.
to here.
Might maybe a good candidate for
It'd
the,
be like
for
a
the coaching
chopper bike.
position though. You have to be a little bit.
You saying that Clayton McMillan's got love handles?
Oh, I think doesn't he? Most coaches have got
I guess we were saying Jamie
too much
Joseph looked
stress.
like yeah. Well, yeah,
You got to eat. You got to eat and drink. A couple
It
of
would-
beers at the end of every day.
it would be very stressful. Are we going to talk about it, mate, or are we just going to pretend it didn't happen?
Well, yeah, I think we should put it on to you, mate.
Oh, jeez.
Gareth, what happened, mate?
Look, we basically almost beat them's what happened, and
But you didn't.
no, we didn't. And I'm really disappointed because, like I said last week, I still think the Blues are mud. But they've got all these players. Oh, you fucked it up at the end there, mate. They've got all these players. On paper, we've lost so many, and they've basically retained their whole championship team from last year. And so they should be beating us.
Yeah.
But we drove them frustratingly right into the point of almost having them, and then we let it go. And I think that's why I was super frustrated, is that we could have done it, and we showed those fits and bursts that the Hurricanes are so good at. And then, they came. That Talia try was very good.
He gassed.
You know what? And
that
the
was
whole
so good.
whole backline, that was a perfectly executed move.
Yeah.
All of them looked great. Bodie
that
at
was the
10,
thing.
Rico.
You both kind of dabbled at being okay, and then all of a sudden, when Bodie got onto 10, it really clicked, and you just had nothing to answer with.
We didn't. I reckon if they start playing in the black jersey, the Hurricanes black jersey,
Is that your away jersey?
Yeah. We just have a little more self-respect and actually put something on that.
I think what you need to stop doing, mate, is seeing how close you can get to the dead ball line when you score a try. I think that seemed to be the focus
Who
of the
did
Hurricanes.
that? It was Godfrey
And Naholo.
and Naholo
both of them. I think the Naholo one should have been pulled back.
Mate.
His hand was over the line.
Oh, come on. Mate, you know that's a 6-point try.
No,
You
no,
get
no,
6 points for that.
Mate, you guys are playing up.
No, we're not.
You got your priorities are all wrong.
No, we just want to
You
see
just
how
need to
deep we can go.
You just need to focus on winning a game again.
Mate,
Mate.
we've won a game.
You've won one.
Thank you, but we've won one. Win's a win.
Against who?
The draw.
Yeah. Oh, don't talk like that, mate. They're a good attacking team.
That's about it. We just talked
I
about it.
almost bought in the Highlanders jersey. Actually, it's in the car.
Mate, do not
what we'll
mention the Highlanders
What
jersey.
we just want to do is we just want to make sure we just want to try it on for size, mate, because you might be wearing it in a couple of weeks.
You're blowing your load too soon.
Well, you certainly aren't.
Well, it doesn't mean I don't need to. I'm going to blow it right at the point that I need to blow it. And that's how I operate in life. I'm not sure what's going on in your fucking neck of the woods, but
we just, peaking at different times of the
Peking
season.
duck.
Peking duck. We just we had a tough few games at the start, so we've decided we want to win them all so that we're actually at the top of the table.
That makes
Not
sense.
floundering like around sort of sixth equal with about 10 other teams.
Doesn't matter. We'll see what happens at the end of the season when he gets pointy,
I
mate.
can't wait for that.
Yeah,
mate. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'll come around.
Is Geordie going to be back?
He's not coming back this season. Mate.
Xavier? No. What about TJ? Is he going to make a little appearance?
They've gone.
They've all gone.
Yeah, they've gone. Well, they deserve to retire.
Good time for them to leave because
Geordie's not retired, but I'll tell you what was embarrassing.
Angus Gardner playing poker.
Well, actually, you know what? Angus Gardner I actually really like him as a referee usually. And he was dealing out some disciplinary action during that game in many respects.
I mean, the cards were one thing.
The cards are ridiculous. It's like he had just discovered them. I started thinking, are they made out of some kind of like beautiful soft velvet?
You think he loves the feel of them?
He just loves the feel of them. He can see his little hand going in his pocket and he's like, this could be a yellow.
Or is he just dishing them out?
I think that's the yellow one.
He doesn't know which one's coming out. He just puts his hand in and goes, wonder what this is going to be.
And he goes, you're off. God, I love
it. And when he got the call back when Satutu's got upgraded, he couldn't wait to get his hand in that.
I bet those refs, they can't wait to tell. They're like, he gets the news and he goes, okay, I'm going over to him.
Patrick, come over here, mate.
I've got some bad news.
I've got some bad news for you, mate. Really bad news. So Hoskins, his has been upgraded to a red.
And then you reckon he gets really excited. He's like,
yeah,
it's been upgraded to a red. He was handing out cards. I mean, mate, there were 3 in the first 20 minutes.
That little bit of biff between Naholo and Talia. That was they got real heated. And Angus came up. Come on, fellas. He was like a primary school teacher.
He comes on. He's like,
Mark,
away
from each other. No, look, this has been
Kenny.
The sportsmanship in this game has been phenomenal. And what's going on here, guys? This is not the spirit of the game. Now, say sorry to each other. Touch hands. Are you okay?
Kenny, look at me when I'm talking. Kenny, do you want your ordered lunches?
He made them touch hands.
And they were like, yeah, sweet.
Whatever. Sorry, bro.
See you after school, motherfucker.
So great work from Angus Gardner, apart from all the cards.
Good work. And look, weird what happened at the end of the game. I mean, it became a comical to see about 20 officials huddled around one laptop on the side of the field.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, because there was a supposed HI. What had happened is that the
cheat?
Blues had tried to bring back on Finlay Christie.
For what?
Because
just to slow the ball down.
They thought that maybe he was the one to finish out the game. I'm like, you should have learned by now the last player you want on the field longer than you have to is Finlay Christie.
Yeah.
And so they
cheated. They tried to bring him back to save the game.
Well, they'd claimed that a guy...
Did Knock have a head knock?
Ironically, the guy's name that was going for an HIA was Knock.
Knock.
So Knock apparently had taken one.
Yeah.
taken him.
But they
taken
didn't deem
a
it
knock.
high enough to be an HIA.
And they were all looking at the computer, and then he told the others, "All right, you, get away. These are the neutral officials. They're the ones that are going to look at the thing." And then the neutral doctor looks at the screen for about another 30 seconds, and Angus Gardner just goes, "Oh, fuck this! I'm starting to continue in the game.
What is
You're
up
taking
with the
too long."
refs this year? It's like they've are they getting their pay docked when they have like too many minutes
I reckon
out
they
of
are,
play?
mate. They are so eager to do everything.
Nick Berry tried to tackle someone. He literally got underneath. We're talking about people getting like lifted off the ball. He literally got underneath someone and flipped them over.
It's like, mate, we know you can
He is
bench.
on
We know
one.
you can bench
And
100.
he stood over him. He's like, "And what?"
Knock on. Knock on. He's like,
Mate, they are.
let's go. Want to
The
go.
refs are just like, they're just in a different league.
Well,
this
I mean, we've said it's mega mass, but based on that, it might be roids.
So yeah, a great win from the Blues. They're back. They've got their first one.
I don't think they're back. They've just had a win.
Yeah.
I still think there's a
I guess
lot of
it's
work
not
on
really.
there, man.
You can't really call that a good win because it's only the Hurricanes. So, yeah, they're one of the worst teams of the competition this year at this stage. So,
Yeah.
I guess you can't really celebrate that one as much. But at least they've got a win now, which is good for the Blues. I'm
It's
sorry,
lovely.
mate.
Did we talk about Caleb Clarke?
News. Caleb,
I can't remember
Clarke.
whether we did or not.
No, we didn't.
Mate,
It's obviously not affecting his game because he still had some good. He had some good moments in that game. But
he did, like a few, but
so
what
what's the story?
happened?
So he's been done for dangerous driving. So he was riding a Suzuki motorbike.
But how do you know it was a Suzuki?
Well, it said in the news article.
How did they know it was a Suzuki?
Well, I guess it's on the police report.
That's just like, they've just plucked that
So
out. Could have been a Yamaha.
So he's been speeding. Has he been speeding or has
Well,
he been what?
See, this is the thing. I don't actually know what. It
It
must have been
it's dangerous
speeding.
driving.
So he's on a fast motorbike. He had to be
But
going
it's
150.
It's not speeding. It's dangerous driving. So it means that
He
you're
was
over
swerving.
a threshold.
He was swerving in and out of
I
lanes
think he's
on the
going
motorway.
like 150 Ks. He's
My-
over the 50K threshold.
Here's my thing with Caleb is when I look at him, I think he's like the goodest little golden boy ever.
Yeah,
What
he's a
the
goody
hell
two-shoes.
was he doing running from the police?
I think he's scared.
Of what?
Dad.
Uroni.
Uroni. I reckon Uroni would have his guts for garters, mate.
So he wasn't scared. It's not like he had something on him that he shouldn't have or any of that rubbish. he
Well,
was actually just like he
I don't
didn't want
see
to
him
be
as one of
he
those
didn't
people.
want to be standing on the side of the motorway with his helmet off and everyone driving past going, "Caleb,
But
oh shame."
yeah, or
He got
shame,
pulled
but
over.
also maybe he just didn't want to get in trouble. And ironically, he's done the dumb thing of like trying to get away. Like who gets away
Mate,
from
no
the
one
cops?
gets away from the cops.
Like,
We've seen all the TikTok
He's
videos.
been playing too much GTA. He thinks he can escape the cops.
Maybe that's the problem with the younger ones today.
Too much
They've-
video games.
Too many video games. They go, "Oh, I can get away." It's like, mate, come on, it's a Suzuki.
Well, he's pleaded guilty. So,
Yeah.
I mean, apparently he's either up for about 3 months jail time, which I don't think
That's
he's gonna
ridiculous.
get.
That's the media.
Or maybe
fucking
maybe
hyping
like
that
a
up.
$4.5
That's
grand
bullshit.
fine or something like that, which you'll probably get a little fine.
Hang on, why is that such
I
a
think that's
big
the scale.
issue?
That's the scale.
Doesn't he just get a?
So if it's you, mate, because you've been done for quite a lot of traffic offences.
I've been done for some basic speeding. Never been done for anything else, mate.
No.
What are you insinuating?
Or maybe like what I'm saying is that your record's not as clean as maybe Caleb. So you might be
Wow.
up for 3 months, whereas Caleb's down
Mate,
to
I'm
the
not going to get
4.5
3
grand.
months. No one's going to get 3 months
you
jail
wouldn't last
unless
a
you're
second in
unless
jail.
you're DUI or something.
You'd
you know
be
what I mean?
someone's bitch in the first 5 minutes.
That's not true. I think I'd be running the place. I think I'd have everyone organised. I'd have different sort of like factions, and
You reckon you'd have your pocket inside out and someone would be grabbing onto it?
I think that I'd be the one making the shanks.
Really?
Yeah, mate. I'd be like you.
There's no
Meet
oysters
me.
in there, mate.
Doesn't matter. Well, there's certainly no kinner either. The whole place would stink.
Probably got more chance of having
No,
kinner
I'd
than
just
oysters.
say that I hope I'd get along well with some of the prisoners. I'd go, "So what are you in for, mate? Like, what's your story?" "Oh yeah, I just did speeding."
Just speeding.
"Do you want to have lunch?"
I don't think you'd last, mate.
I'd last.
You reckon you would?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. What's that?
I reckon you'd just piss someone off with your little shit-eating grin. You know, they'd see you and they go, "This guy thinks he's all that."
Yeah, I've traditionally been pretty good at talking my way out of trouble.
That's true.
But also talking my way into trouble. So yeah, it gets me out either side.
Yeah.
The old mouth.
So you might not get stabbed by one guy, but you'll get
Yeah.
fisted by another.
Oh, ow.
It happens. Hey, speaking of
What?
damages, these are actually in pristine condition.
Yeah. Friend of mine has the whole collection.
So
It's the Celtics. What are they called?
well, these are called just the collectible Celtics
the
figurines.
Celtics.
But for those
1995 World Cup collectibles. I don't know whether you remember, but
Yeah, these are
before the
amazing.
1995 World Cup, you go off to Celtics and you'd spend $20. You convince mum and dad to spend $20, and what is it? It was $2.95 on top.
if you spent $20, was basically in those days
got
was
one of these
half
for
a tank of
$2.95.
petrol.
And I had a couple of them. I had the Frank Bunce one, which was my pride and joy, and also this little Zinzan Brook number here.
Well, Zinzan Brooks, actually, some of they're kind of recognizable, but Zinni is like obviously the most.
They're taking the piss with Goldie. He looks
Ladies
like
and gentlemen,
he looks like an Aryan.
Jeff Wilson. I mean, that looks like they have done another figurine and just gone, oh shit, it's Goldie now. We have to paint the hair white.
He's on the wrong side of World War II, that guy.
That is, those eyebrows, they're worse than mine.
But Zinni had the wee mole on his thing, and I remember with mine, I used to take it. I used to have it in the bath. I'd take it to
You
bed.
had it in the
Yeah,
bath?
play with him in the bath. They'd be playing rugby.
So you were
while
a
I was
bit
having
obsessed with it.
I loved it.
I mean,
but I also used to rub his mole for luck.
Yeah.
And so I'd give it a wee rub, and I rubbed the mole off. I rubbed the paint of the mole off, so it was no longer brown. It went down to the pink bit.
You rubbed Zinzan Brooks' mole for luck.
Well, not for
Luck-
luck,
luck
more for
for
comfort.
what?
It was kind of like I don't know. It might have been a minor ADHD sort of OCD
What,
sort
so
of thing. when I was a
mum had
kid.
sent you to bed because you're playing up, and so you'd go to your room and just rub Zinni's mole
Yeah,
against
I'd
the
be in the
pillow.
bath and I'd just give it a little rub.
Mum's being a fucking dick again.
Fucking hate you,
Fucking stupid. You turned it white. Mate,
But these little guys, and they inspired our podcast artwork. Actually,
they did.
lovely
yeah.
Gino, who's our tech was designer. It's behind you on the screen here, the little, and you might see it on some of the social clips if you watch them.
The bobblehead vibe,
yeah.
was inspired by, because these meant a lot to us. I think to a lot of kids, a lot of fans growing up.
If you remember them, they were just
why
something
don't
else.
they bring this kind of
need
things
this
back? Like, this is genius.
What
like,
would you?
kids love collecting
You'd be spending.
worthless plastic shit.
No one spends $20 at the petrol station anymore.
Yeah, but
you'd have to spend
say,
50.
well, that's fine. You say it's all inflation, isn't it? Spend $80 and you
50.
get 50, whatever it is. However much it costs to make
Yes, can't
this
cost much to make
albino winger.
So yeah, let's bring back the collectibles, please. I'd love that.
The other cool ones are the interchangeables, which came out a few
Yes,
years
they
later,
did.
where you could. And now, if you didn't, people, for those who don't know, the concept was that you can take one player's head and put it on another player's body.
Which is strange.
Well, it's weird, man. Were those guys high as kites when they came up with that
don't
concept? Because who wants to see Jonah Lomu's head on Josh Cromfeld's body?
Not me.
It's a freak of nature.
Is
And
it?
as Andrew Murden says in the
Mind you,
commercial,
all
he
the
goes,
bodies were the same though, weren't they? Or were they different
no,
bodies?
mate, they're different. Well, there's one on the thing behind you.
Oh yeah, yeah. This
Grab
is the
old Cronny.
Cronfeld one. Yeah, but that's the Cromfeld. Yeah, I guess it was because the skin tone matches.
Well,
doesn't
it'd be weird. So he's got these weird white arms, and then you got Jonah's head on him.
There's
I
the
mean,
old
I guess it's kind of a cool concept, but again,
Nah,
bring this stuff back.
the OG collectibles were the ones.
I'd rather this than a Coca-Cola glass.
I mean, they obviously they predicted who was going to be in the 1995 World Cup, and there's some missing names there. There's no Lomu. Lomu didn't make the
So
cut.
Lomu didn't make these
He
originals.
must have made the 1995 World Cup team late.
Yes, he did. I think he was pulled
Yeah.
in late, right?
Because I think, Goldie
Sorry,
has got number
disrespect
11.
Walter Little. Which he didn't in the World Cup. He was 14.
He was 14.
He was a right winger,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Yeah.
Lomu had the 11. Lomu.
Yeah, of course.
Keith Quinn.
He really got into it. Do we need?
the Force and Reds? You know, there was another close game.
Yeah, it was
another
And do you know what?
last-minute victory. They literally scored in the 79th or the 80th minute.
And I've got to say, we singled out the Tars at the start of the season as being the ones to watch, and I think that's because they haven't historically been as good. But man, the Force sort of haven't either.
Well,
but
they were
are good.
undefeated. Both the Reds and the Force were undefeated coming into this competition.
Ben Donaldson is having a great time.
Yeah.
Carlo Tizzano.
Oh, no.
He's in my
Yeah.
fantasy. Scored two
Two
tries.
tries.
He's got
He's also
five for the season.
He's
hasn't
also
he?
made the most tackles out of
Yeah.
anyone in the
He
competition.
is a workhorse, man.
He's made 10 more tackles than anyone else.
Yeah, he deserves a big shout out.
Is he 7 for the Wallabies?
Thought you were going to say, is he 7 foot?
No, he's not 7 foot. He ain't 7 foot.
No.
Tell you that.
Mate, he's making a big case for it now.
Well,
but
he's
he's going to have to beat out Fraser McWright's an extraordinary player as well. And so to see them going at it was great. You're clearly seeing basically the 1 and 2 right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else is getting a look in that position at this point.
And I also just noticed that maybe Nick White's cowboy stature is getting a little bit lower.
Yeah, what is 1800s policeman?
Yeah, he's from Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, he does.
He's gone full cowboy.
Yeah,
I think it's because he wants low center of gravity. It stops him from getting taken out.
yeah. I mean, do you reckon he practices at home just standing widely like that?
I think he literally maybe has like a little horse, like he has a little like a one of those wheelie horse,
a hobby horse.
Yeah, hobby horse that he just sort of scoots around the house.
And do you reckon his partner's like, Nick, could you just get off that bloody horse? It's just ridiculous.
He has an interesting gait though, doesn't he?
He does have an interesting gait. So does my nana's house.
Pink.
Not as wide as Nick's.
Should we get into a couple little segments, mate?
Yep, we should. What do you got?
Wanker of the Week!
Love that one. My wanker of the week, and I'm loath to do this because I love the man. I think he's a fantastic player. He's a fantastic All Black. He's a fantastic Chief. But don't fuck with DMac's knees, mate.
Oh, you really get upset when people touch your boys, eh?
LB, come on, man. Just like it was the end of the game. We should have sewn it up. And he's just friendly fired DMac's knee and just really hyperextended it. So he's my wanker of the week.
He didn't mean to.
I know, but just be careful. That's our prized position. Like, I know he's not the be-all and end-all DMac, but God, he's good to have in your team, and I just don't really want him not to be there. I know we've got some worthy replacements, but LB, I'm sorry, mate.
Yeah.
I do love you, but just watch out next time.
I think my wanker of the week's probably the lock from the Tars, who just kept getting under the skin. And, like, God just got me, like I said before, really concerned about the drawer. I went, just leave them alone, mate. Alone. They're innocent.
You bully.
They're real nice over in Fiji. Just leave them alone. But he was having a go at everybody. And you know who he looks like? He kind of reminds me of Nick Kyrgios.
Oh, yeah.
He has that look about him.
He's the master. And he's just,
you can just tell he's a little shit.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyrgios is a great one.
There's been some great Aussie locks of times gone by that have kind of been, that love to get under people's skin as well.
No, Slipper's what was the other one?
Justin Harrison.
Yes.
He just looks like he wants to cause mischief. He didn't really do anything particularly. He was just really like playing up.
Just playing up.
He was playing up. He needed to go to timeout for a bit. And he did. He got sent off.
I have to say, it actually, I agree with Angus Gardner. Like, there was sportsmanship was pretty key this week. So it's quite hard to find a wanker of the week. Hence why Albie's got the vote for me.
All right.
Player of the day.
Get on you, mate.
Who was it?
We mentioned him.
Did we?
Carlo Tizzano. He's my player of the week. Once I saw 2 tries. He's now the leading try scorer on 6 tries. No, 5 tries, sorry.
5 tries, I think it is.
5 tries, yep. It's leading try scorer for a number 7, which is pretty good. And also the leading tackle maker. What do you call that? He leads the stats. He's got the most tackles.
He's the leading tackle maker. And the leading tackle maker goes to Carlo Tizzano.
He's made the most bloody tackles, all right? And I think that's a pretty good combo.
It is.
So yeah, he's my player. He's my player of the day this week.
Okay, my player of the day is going to be none other than the beautiful Captain Savia. He was immense, mate. Did the work of 15 men. He's basically some of the time single-handedly, well, he's not single-handedly, but he's a huge performance at 7. To me, just went, this is my jersey. No one else can have it. He's everywhere, and an amazing leader for that team too. And that try was amazing, was just vintage him.
I think
vintage him.
I think that it was a first equal try between him and Tupai this week. They both scored the belt, that chip and chase.
And mate, if DMac had got that that would have blitzed them all because that was insane. He ran right through them.
I actually had Savia as my most improved because I feel like he had a very quiet couple of weak rounds the first 2, and like you say, played like a beast.
Yeah. He did play like a beast. He is a beast of a man. What do you got?
Most improved player.
Adi Savia. Who have you got?
I don't even have one.
You don't have one?
Nah.
Oh.
I guess the Blues team.
The Blues team.
The Blues team. I don't want to say this. Fuck. Fuck, man. Okay, the Blues team are the most improved. They've been down and out, and I got to say, still very concerning. But they showed a bit of mettle, and I'll tell you who had a decent game was Bodie. Bodie actually showed a little bit of spark,
Not at the start.
although he seems to he does a shitload of kicking, a shitload of kicking, and when he does get a run with the ball, I actually feel like he can really open things up, and I think he just needs to back himself to run a bit more, is what I would say. But maybe the directive is not currently that from the coaches.
Well, he certainly played better at first 5 than he did at fullback. So maybe you're right. I think.
What if they make a bold move?
And put
What if they
Plummer at the back?
or just
Peter Fetter's coming back,
just
though,
put
isn't he?
Plummer on the bench and go Bodie, start moving things around, man.
Yeah, but who goes into fullback?
Well, Zahn Sullivan,
Is he there? Yeah,
I
he is
don't know
there.
if-
No, I've seen his
is he
face
there?
around. Yeah, he's around.
or is he injured at the moment?
Oh, maybe.
But man, honestly, I think they need to make a decision about that because there seems to be some confusion. It's not quite singing.
Well, they've got the Brumbies.
Bluesies.
They've got the Brumbies this week. First game of the round
They're-
4.
They just really
Yeah.
shit.
So
That'd be good. That'd be a good one.
That's I don't even know where that's.
Are they playing them?
Actually.
Oh,
Let's have a look.
they're playing them at home. It's at Eden Park, actually.
No, it's in.
No, it's at Eden Park.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
meant
it
to be
is.
going.
That's right. It is.
I'm meant
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
going with
So Blues
the
Brumbies,
boys.
that'll be a good test rebounding the Blues. So see if they've actually because the Brumbies are looking good.
They are, and I just want to say, I'm a Blues season ticket holder, and I kind of sort of support them. So
Yeah, I
if
would
the
jump
Blues
ship too,
win,
mate.
if the Blues win, it's a win for me. So I was so torn watching that Hurricanes Blues game. I just didn't know.
I can't. You got to take that jersey off, mate. You are disrespecting the Hurricanes. That's
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, that is.
One loss, and you're just gone.
Nah, I'm joking, mate.
I don't think
You're
you
taking it too seriously.
Drua Chiefs. I think that's going to be it's going to be a good game.
It's
'cause
going
the
to be an
Drua's
easy
got
win for the
that-
Drua.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it'll be another close game though. Like the Drua,
Let's hope so.
They've shown that they've got the medal to get there. So
Yeah.
they've got some good
Yeah.
attacking play. They'll definitely give the Chiefs a run for their money.
Yeah.
Chiefs looking like they might have a few of their stars maybe on the bench. So you know,
Yeah,
it might be
including
it might be-
DMac.
It might be a tough one to win without
Are you playing at home though?
not sure.
Oh.
Hurricanes, you've got the Moana.
We
So
do.
So the
Up in the fantastic North Harbour Stadium.
The great thing that we've had now is that you've been talking shit about Moana this whole podcast, like you did the Blues last week. So hopefully Moana can get up there and really put you in your place.
Well,
Are you going to go to that game, mate?
Yeah, mate.
So you're going to the Blues game. You're going to make it over to North Harbour Stadium. For
I'll pick which one I go to.
Saturday 7.
Actually, Saturday I'm at Charlie McDermott's house for a barbecue.
So you won't be going to the game. So you'll go to the Blues game, but not the Hurricanes. when they're
Wow,
playing
you
in
got to
Auckland.
pick your friends first. You got to put your friends first. You know, it's his birthday.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Good to know where you stand.
That's not
Big
where I
battle on Sunday too, which for me I think is the game of the round.
big ding dong, is it?
Big dong. Crusaders versus the Reds.
Yeah. Do you know what? It was bloody enjoyable not talking about the Crusaders for a week.
Oh yeah,
Isn't it good?
Actually,
You
this is the first time we brought them up.
You forget that they're in the competition, and then now I'm going, oh, that's right. I'm going to have to watch that game.
I think the Reds might squash them because
I
they're
Yeah.
actually on some
The-
really
the Reds,
really good.
the
purple
Reds are
patch of
looking
form.
good. Is that in Aussie too? Don't
Mate,
know. We don't know.
Sorry, we should have done our research here.
Well, it doesn't matter. No one cares.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look, the Crusaders.
Look it up.
The
It'll be on
Crusaders
Super Rugby
they'll be
website.
fresh. You know, the Reds have been playing well and playing hard. They've been big, long, high-scoring games. I don't know. I would love to see the Reds get up against the Crusaders. I think anything's possible, mate. Like you say in this competition.
Yeah,
It really
everyone's
feels like
so
it's-
close. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually in the Polo Project Stadium in Christchurch.
Oh, for mother.
But I think the Reds have got the goods. I really.
It
think
is
they'll-
hard beating them in Canterbury though. So
Yeah, you tried, didn't you?
we did try. We've actually done it successfully. In recent years, but just
Not
couldn't
this
quite
year.
get over them that year.
All right, mate.
I love you, Hurricanes. You're my boys.
They'll be back, mate.
Mate, they've not gone. They're not gone from the
Yeah,
competition.
pretty
They're
much
just. They're actually weirdly they're in sixth.
When do we play? When do Hurricanes Chiefs play?
Don't know, but we should definitely obviously watch it
yeah.
together.
Well, no, we should go to it.
Maybe get a lovely wee burger at Shapiro's.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Looking for a sponsor, Shapiro's.
Yeah,
Just saying.
best sports bar in Auckland. That'll do.
See you later.
Give us a follow.
Catch you next week.
Bye bye.
All right.